Hey there, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Doug,
This is
that's
my Adam
slightly...
Sandler face going on here
Ah,
a little bit.
it was
Yep,
a
yep.
little terrifying and concerning, but thank you for clarifying. I
It's very
appreciate that.
puppetish. It's my Yoda, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, continue.
Wow, happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope that really helped kickstart your evening in the right direction. Um, Welcome to Chatting with Doug, where you get to ask this guy, Doug Walker,
And
the
sometimes
Nostalgia
Chaplin,
Critic, and sometimes
when he's not cleaning himself.
blessed with Chaplin paws, honestly. Very cute right now. I see we have a ton of questions already flooding in, so let me get to the rules so that we can get to your questions here. First and foremost, we give priority to the bit messages and super chats since that is some real world money spent. Towards the end of stream, sometimes we have time for either highlighted questions at Twitch or just regular chat questions over on YouTube, but you should save those until the end of stream because I cannot scroll up and see them, and also, you should not be spamming or repeating yourself over and over again in chat. That's a good way to get timed out or even banned if you're going to continuously do it. On the YouTube side of things, we prioritize super chats that are $5 and over. We get a large volume of questions, and so this is just a way that we can kind of sort through the questions and hopefully still have time to be able to get to the non-paid questions, because we are trying our best to get to those non-paid questions if we can. So having the priority set at $5 just helps us to get through the volume of questions here. Also on the YouTube side of things, if you see that your super chat has unpinned from the top, do not worry, do not stress. You don't have to necessarily repeat it again. I have a list, and it is very, very rare that we actually miss a super chat or a bit message. You just have to have some patience, because sometimes we can get up to over an hour behind. So just have some patience. We will get to it. It's very, very rare that it's actually skipped. Please watch the length of your questions. The longer it is, the faster I have to read it, the more likely it is that we're going to miss something, and we do not have time to go back and try to figure out what you're trying to say. So short and to the point is better. That same thing also applies to parts. If you absolutely must break your message up into multiple parts, please limit it to 3. Absolute maximum. Again, we just tend to lose the point, and we don't have time to go back and try to figure out how part 11 relates to part 4 and all that jazz. So 3, absolute maximum, please. Please keep it to 1 question per bit message or super chat. We have so many people here who would like to ask a question. It just doesn't feel fair if you get to ask 4 and they haven't even gotten to ask 1. Okay, so try to keep it to 1 question per bit message or super chat. Please, no spoilers. I haven't even had a chance to watch Andor yet. Please.
I haven't either. That's right.
No
Just came out.
spoilers.
It's like they have like 3 episodes out already,
Yes,
right?
there's like 3
man.
hours of content.
Oh man, that's too much. That's too much. I mean, I'm excited,
wild.
but it's too much.
I know. So don't spoil Andor. Don't spoil Last of Us. There's a lot of new things happening out there in the world of TV and movies, so just don't spoil it. Don't be that person, okay? Just don't do it. Doug, no swearing.
That's right.
Otherwise,
I think we're good.
I think we're good.
I think we got it. Yeah.
All right, great, fantastic. Let's do this. Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. If you get the chance to see Ryan Coogler's latest film, Sinners, I immensely recommend it. Easily my favorite of the year so far.
Yeah, I've heard it's good. It's one of those where I had an early screening to it, but I had 2 conventions back to back, so I knew I wasn't gonna be able to make it. But I'm glad now he's getting good reviews, but it's doing really good at the box office, so that's great to hear. Like an original movie, who would have thought?
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. If you did a TV show reactions, what would you do?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I kind of did with like Avatar: The Last Airbender and Gravity Falls, so we've done a couple. But in terms of like watching them, I don't know, because like it'd have to be a show I haven't seen. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I would like, yeah, I'm not sure.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. Plans to do any of the other SpongeBob movies for the show, Doug? Second one, Sponge Out of Water, is definitely worth covering and giving some attention to.
Maybe. I guess I haven't thought about it. If I did, again, I probably have to get Phantom Strider involved because he knows much more about SpongeBob than I do. But yeah, might be an idea.
Low expectations. Thank you for the $5 super chat. What would you give these three movies out of 4 stars? Happy Gilmore, Dumb and Dumber, Tommy Boy.
Happy Gilmore and Dumb and Dumber 3-star. You're gonna hate me. I'm so sorry. I don't like Tommy Boy. I probably give it 2. I'm sorry.
Matt, thank you for the $5 super chat. Are either of you VTuber fans? And if so, how did you react to Gura, I'm sorry, I know I pronounced her name wrong, announcing her graduation from HoloLive?
I know what VTubers are, but I think so. Right? It's the virtual YouTubers,
Mhm.
right? It's like
Yep.
okay. But I'm not familiar with it. Oh, wait, it's one. Oh, what's her name? MT Tanner, MJ Tanner, or something like that. It's a pair of twins, although now it's mainly just one. But I think she's doing that now, maybe. But if that's about the closest, I haven't really kept up on that many.
Yeah, I really don't know much about VTubers either, but I did hear a lot about that specific graduation because I think there's a lot of controversy surrounding it. Like she's basically leaving because she doesn't want to work with HoloLive anymore. It's a whole thing. So
I don't
I
even
wish
know
it
how
wasn't a
alive
whole
is.
situation, but sounds like it is. Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. You still a Jim Carrey film review kick? How about me, myself, and Irene? Maybe you can do a bit with Malcolm and Tamara showing whenever they annoy the critic too much, he turns into Doug Walker and vice versa.
I never saw that one all the way through because the little bit I saw was just so annoying and I didn't like it. I heard it was bad, so I didn't check it out. I do have Bruce Almighty. I'm probably gonna try and get to this year because I think that's an interesting one to talk about. I don't think it works, but I think it's very interesting why it doesn't work.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 60-month subscription over on Twitch.
you.
Welcome back. Appreciate that. Half a decade. Wow. Anyway, hi. Long time no see, Doug, Heather, and chat. 2 months ago, I attended my first Glasgow Film Festival, and it was awesome. Along with seeing 9 great films, Tim Roth was at the premiere. I attended exclusive interviews with Jessica Lange, I'm so sorry,
Right.
and James McAvoy. And for 1 minute, Ed Harris stood 6 feet in front of me, one of the few times I actually was starstruck.
Cool. Yeah, man. Congrats. That's a lot of big, cool people.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. What are your thoughts on the film School Ties? I thought the resolution was a little clumsy, but the acting made up for it.
I haven't seen it, I think, since it came out. And I was pretty young when I saw it. So I remember liking it. I don't even remember what the resolution was, honestly. But I'm with you. I remember the atmosphere being really good and the acting being really, really good. But yeah, I don't even remember what the resolution was. It's been a minute.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug was asking weeks ago whether or not your friends or classmates called your dad Barney the dinosaur. My last name sounds like a pizza topping. Haha.
I'm sorry. I mean, haha, I don't know what reaction you want.
At movies, thank you for the 500 bits. Good evening, Doug Mardigan. I hear Disney is slowing down on the remakes after Snow White bombed. Thank God. Anyway, could you review Tangled in honor of its 15th anniversary?
Uh, Maybe. I feel like I did Disney December out and I got most of my thoughts out there. I like the movie. It's good. It's not one like I'm passionate about, but I do get people who are like, it's not like, well, why are people so into this? No, I do get it. The thing I like the most about it, aside from maybe the scenery, is I love the story. The way they retold that story of Rapunzel, I thought was so clever and so smart. Where I was just like, man, that part was so good. Everything else, it's solid, it's decent, but I was just like, man, that story was just so great. I felt like nothing quite reached the level of that.
The Mass Nerd, thank you for the $5 super chat. Chipotle burritos are superior. Just for that, I'm joint that kid draws who makes puns. You did this!
I think I followed that. Shame on me. But now we did a fast food tier list last night. It went over great. Everybody agreed on everything.
Yep. We didn't have any disagreements at all.
Walter especially was ecstatic.
He definitely did not randomly pop into the chat and
turn into me suddenly. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I can't believe it.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In the DuckTales reboot, what do you think of Mrs. Beakley?
Oh, I liked her. I like how do I put it? I like she wasn't just the muscle, you know what I mean? That they did flesh her out more beyond that, which, because honestly, even if they did that, it would still be pretty funny compared to what she was before. But I do like they gave her a little bit more dimension. She's kind of like a jack of all trades, queen
Charming!
of all trades. I don't know what you call it. And yeah, like the connection with Webby as well and everything, especially the more you find out about their past and everything. So no, I thought she was done pretty well.
Low expectations, thank you for the $5 super chat. You think with Snow White bombing, the live action Moana will be the last Disney remake for a while? Please, God, I hope so!
Here's hoping, man. Here's hoping.
Here's the thing though, chat, okay? If you want them to stop making them, don't see Lilo and Stitch either. Because if Snow White bombs, but then you see Lilo and Stitch, they're still gonna think that the remakes
Think there's a
make
chance.
money.
Well, but I'll say this: they are, at the very least, they see they're not pulling in what they used to. They
That's
see
true.
they're at least on a downward spiral. Like Mufasa eventually made money, Little Mermaid eventually made money, but it's still not like where it would just open the opening weekend. It got all its money back. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
at least they see it's on a downward spiral.
Noah, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, how far are you into The Chosen and your overall thoughts?
I think we're on the last episode of season 4, I think. So just about caught up. I'm still liking it. There's one thing I can finally say I actively hated that. I did not like this. Without going to spoilers, it's what they do with the Rama character and how she connects to one of the apostles. And I know the character's made up and everything, but take that to make that as major a plot point as it is, which is something where it's like, yes, they're taking liberties, obviously, you know, like Lil James, you know, it walks with the cane and stuff like that. But like what they end up doing with her and the connection to the apostle, that's where I'm like, nah, this is really taking a leap now. This is more than just, oh, kind of a creative liberty, and you're really making like a big leap that I don't know. I didn't think that worked. But everything else so far, I'm still really, really digging, and I'm loving the way it's acted and the way it's paced out and everything. Yeah, I'm still really enjoying it.
Alex the Animator, thank you for the 500 bits. Since this year marks the 50th anniversary of Saturday Night Live, I would love to see you do NC reviews for some of the bad SNL films, like Coneheads, Wayne's World 2, and most of all, It's Pat the Movie, which is said to be the worst SNL movie.
Maybe something. You know, I wrote down just SNL movies before, and I'm always like, what do I do a month? Do I just do like, what do I do? It's like, nah, I really should just kind of dive in and look at the worst one. Maybe Pat would be good because I heard that. I never did see it, but I heard it's like the worst one. So, yeah, that might be an idea.
Super Droid, thank you for the 500 bits. Hi, Doug. What are your thoughts about Lawrence of Arabia? It's considered one of the greatest movies of all time.
I saw it for the first time on the big screen. Music Box had the I'm blanking on the name, you know, not the panoramic but or Panavision, but you know what I mean. Just the very, very extreme widescreen. My brain's fogging. You know the aspect ratio I'm talking about though. And they had it for a bit of time when the Hateful Eight came out. And they were showing a bunch of movies there that were shot for that specifically. So like Sleeping Beauty was being shown there. One of them was Lawrence of Arabia. And I saw it and I really liked it. It was not what I was expecting. And I liked that.
Okay.
By the time I got to the end, I was like, oh, that's the kind of movie. Like I thought the whole film was going to be what the first half was. You know what I mean? And then when I got to the second half, I'm like, this is very different. And I liked it was very different. It was very challenging for what I feel like, not just what people would probably expect it to be, but just what epics usually are. It really does go from a more traditional but good epic in the first half to suddenly like this very depressing, odd character study that was like really, really fascinating. So yeah, I did really enjoy it.
Which Twitch is Twitch. Thank you for that 9-month subscription over on Twitch. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
that. Thank you. Hey, Doug, with its 40th anniversary coming up this August, I was wondering if you could review the 1985 John Hughes film Weird Science. It was very different from the other Hughes was making at the time, and I'm curious to know if you think it deserves its cult status or if it's just people's nostalgia talking.
Oh, it definitely does. With that said, it's hard to say if it's a good movie or not. And I think that's almost by design. Again, I think that's another one where I went in thinking I knew what kind of movie I was going to get. Oh, two boys make a lady. And they're like, oh, it's just one of those horny teen comedies. But like, not even halfway through, it just takes a completely different turn. It just goes in all sorts of bizarre directions that you're like, what am I watching? And I kind of love it for that. I had a great time with it, but yeah, in terms of does it come together as a narrative? Probably not, but I think that's kind of the idea. So I don't know. Maybe there might be some laughs in there.
Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. This is part 1 of 2. Besides Puss in Boots 2, what film did a 180 on your expectations? I suffer from thalassophobia, so seeing underwater was terrifying until I realized to be
I guess
continued.
we'll wait and see.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. If you do more Freak Show cinema, please do Fritz the Cat. Fun, it made over $90 million on a $750,000 budget.
I love to. No way YouTube's gonna let that fly. Yeah, that's there's way too. If I want to talk about it in any shape or form, YouTube probably won't let me. In terms of talking about why it is as good as it is.
Chase, thank you for the $5 super chat. This is part 2 of 2. It's a surprise Lovecraft adaptation of The Call of Cthulhu. It's not a ripoff of The Abyss or Alien. No, we have Jake Gyllenhaal's life for that.
I never saw that one either. I think I saw, what was the name of the movie he was talking about there? That was the Cthulhu one?
Underwater?
Underwater, yes. I did see that. And it was mostly boring until the end where I went, oh, that's what we're doing. Okay, I didn't know that. So that was kind of entertaining. But yeah, man, a movie that just probably The Straight Story is the best example I can think of where I was watching it. And I always think it was just insufferable. I mean, it was just so boring. I mean, like, it wasn't poorly made, but it was just dull and boring. And why am I watching this guy just on this, little motor the whole way through? And then when you get to the end, you realize that was kind of the point. And you really have to sit through all that to realize what this guy went through. It has just a very simple last line that completely changed the way I saw the movie. It is one of those where whenever I think, I don't want to finish this, I want to stop, I do sometimes think to myself, well, Straight Story literally changed everything in the last minute. So, that can happen.
Jamie, thank you for the $5 super chat. In No Way Home, when Tom takes out the cures, he only smashes down goblins and Toby sees it. That's why he knew he would try to kill Goblin.
Good to know.
Jacob, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, hope your week has been going well. Do you have fun memories or stories of working on Brad Jones's 2017 movie Disco?
Oh yeah, I mean it was all shot in a day, so that was kind of fun. The place itself was really really neat. And what was funny is that he just did like this sort of open call for people want to show up as extras, and all of us got there, and we started asking, does anyone know how to actually disco dance? And everyone shook their heads, and it's like, all right, let's just look this up. So we all had to look really quick, just at old, like the Soul Train and stuff like that, all these old videos about how people would do disco dance. Because if not, all everybody would be doing is this, you know what I mean? So we all had to look up really quick how to do that. But no, I remember that being a real fun time.
Low Expectations, thank you for the $5 super chat. What's a movie you love by a director that you don't care for? My number one pick would probably be The Snyder Cut.
Man. I know there's a couple, because that's always, I remember saying that a couple times, like, what? This guy directed this? Holy smokes. I forget his name, Brian Lamont, something like that. He directed a whole bunch of movies I don't like. I think like he might have done the Flintstones movie or the Flintstones sequel, something like that. just a bunch of bad movies. But they did Beethoven. I thought Beethoven was a perfectly fine, cute movie. Which again isn't like a glowing review, but yeah, I thought it was fine. I know there's others, I just can't think of them right now.
Matt, thank you for the $5 super chat. Almonds invented milk. Cows stole credit for the idea, and the media has been covering it up for centuries to steer us towards the Moo World Order.
Makes sense. I always wondered where almonds hid their nipples, but it's all starting to come together.
Mm-hmm. Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. I also attended my first HorrorCon Scotland. So many highlights, including Dave Sheridan, aka Doofy from Scary Movie, and seeing a Dead Meat live panel. But best of all is I met Felissa Rose. Got a picture with her. She signed my Sleepaway Camp DVD. We had a lovely conversation, including a couple of personal things we both related to. Then suddenly, out of the blue, to be continued.
I've actually met both those people too at a HorrorCon, at the same HorrorCon, and you're right, they're both very funny, very sweet people, and yeah, no, I had a great time too.
Noah, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, have you watched Borrowers? Jesus Christ, Heather. 1997 film.
Not yet. I do have it on the list to watch at some point.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the $5 super chat. I'm probably going to mess this up. I'm so sorry. Good evening, Duggo. What are your thoughts on Sicario 1 and 2? I checked them both out recently and thought both of them were pretty solid.
I don't even think I've heard of that before.
Sicario. Sicario.
Oh! There's a third one coming out? Man. So I think I remember seeing ads for the first one, and that was about it. I didn't even know there's a sequel. I didn't even know, like I said, I'm seeing ones for like third one coming out. So yeah, I completely missed that. I guess I should check them out. I'm still here. I'm just letting Chaplin out.
Ultimate Frozen fan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey Doug, even though SpongeBob was past your time, there's 2 SpongeBob spin-off movies of Sandy and Plankton on Netflix. Any plans to check them out?
I heard they're not that good. I haven't even like I said, I've seen the first one. That's about it. And I can't remember if I've heard good things about the second one or not. I know definitely after the second one, apparently they're bad. So yeah, if I'm gonna see any of them, probably the second one's the only one.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. It won't happen, but I wish Doug would play DBZ Kakarot.
Well, you're right, it won't happen. No, if that's the, I will say, if it's the fighting game, the versus game, I played that. That was really fun. But yeah, I haven't played any other ones.
Dankyum, thank you for the $5 super chat. We've all seen movies with good acting but bad writing/dialogue, but what about the other way around? What are some good writing but bad acting?
Man. That's another one. I know they exist, but I can't even think of the top of my head. I know they're out there. I'm totally blanking though. I'm so sorry. If anyone can think of it, yeah, leave them in the chat. Because yeah, I feel bad giving you no answer to that because I know there's several.
Ben, thank you for the $5 super chat. Do you plan on doing another top 11 in the near future?
I usually do top 11s if like just I get sick or something happens. I just need a video quick. So probably not, which is fine. I did get sick recently and we had to delay a shoot, but I was still able to do like just a normal review. I also don't think the top 11s usually do that great anymore. It has to be something that just catches like the right niche, and I don't always know what that is. So we'll see. I don't mind doing them, but yeah, it's we'll have to see.
Alex, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey Doug, are you thinking about getting a Nintendo Switch 2? Pre-orders begin tomorrow.
Well, seeing how I don't even have a Nintendo Switch 1, probably not.
Elite, thank you for that 32-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate that. Well. 32 months with this crazy lot. Hey, love y'all. Seriously, Heather, Doug, the CA crew, and chat are so full of many amazing people that make this world a better place. Just one question, though.
Aww.
Thoughts on Thunderbolts? I heard good things so far. Also, that Walter rant was hilarious last night.
I thought it was funny, too. I thought the trailers looked good. I think all those actors and characters are very likable, very fun. I think it'd be interesting to put them together. Most of what I've seen from the trailers looks good. The only thing I'm a little concerned about is sort of the typical Marvel shtick. What do we call ourselves? Are we a team? We are not a team. Like, that's the stuff, the BS I'm really scared of. But everything else, honestly, looks like pretty fun.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. Even good series have bad episodes. Could you potentially do a top 11 worst Batman the Animated Series episode?
Yeah, I guess I haven't done that, have I? Might not be a bad idea. I'll put that down. It's a pretty good possibility.
Low expectations. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Now the reverse. What's a movie you hate from a director that you love? I definitely say Spielberg's 1941.
1941 actually has grown on me quite a bit. I actually do like 1941. Again, I can't say it works, but I do like it. Let me see. Probably the most surprising one, even when they explained what was going on, and I'm still like, I don't know, was North from Rob Reiner. It wasn't like that. I guess the biggest surprise because he still made bad films, but to make one that bad was really intriguing. And like I said, they did explain what the mindset was behind it, and it still didn't make it work, but at least there was something, going on. There's some sort of thought that just clearly didn't pan out. But I know there's other ones, but yeah, I guess that's the biggest one I'm thinking of right now because that is like just so like jaw-droppingly awful, and like not just in terms of how it's made, even though it is made bad, but just the overall, just the writing in it and the humor, and just everything. It's just so insultingly awful.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. This is the second part of it. She asked me to take a selfie with her, which she posted on her Instagram. My mug is plastered on her page. She tagged me and everything, hands down, were the wildest, most surreal moments of my life. Plus, she gave me a free signed poster as an extra present. She was beyond nice. I was blushing super hard, and I'm forever thankful to that core memory. Oh, by the way, Doug, she asked me to tell you hi.
Cool. Who were we talking about again? Felicia Rose. Okay, Felicia Rose. Yeah, no, she's super, super cool. I guess I've seen her a couple times. Actually, because both my wife and I love that movie. I got a cameo for my wife's birthday of her saying happy birthday and doing the face and all that. Yeah, no, she's great. Every time I've seen her, we usually talk about cats because we both have cats, and she's just always been really, really cool.
Matt, thank you for the $5 super chat, but it's a trap. Appreciate it.
It's a trap.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Good evening, all. Doug, I'm wondering, would you ever consider doing a Disney summer for Splash with Tom Hanks?
Maybe. I don't know how many people would tune into it. That had to be something like I'd be doing just for myself because I want to be out there, and I'm really liking the film fine. I'm not in love with it or anything, though, so probably not.
Adriana, thank you for the $10 super chat. The show itself is still ongoing, but will you consider doing a Disney December on Big City Greens, the movie Spacecation?
Maybe. I guess I've done movies on Disney, properties before. I haven't seen the show, so but I feel like I should probably just watch the show at some point. So we'll see.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Which Joan Cusack villain do you like more, Mrs. Crumb from Claws or Debbie from Addams Family Values?
Oh, Debbie. Oh my God. We still quote Malibu Barbie like all the time. Yeah, we love her in that. I mean, she's very good in Claws, but yeah, love her in Addams Family Values.
Truth, Hope, Love, thank you for the $10 super chat. Why do actors like to act against themselves? Jim Carrey did it not too long ago, and recently we had Pattinson, De Niro, and B. Jordan do something similar. Why?
Well, for Carrey, I'm sure people were just like, well, to Jim Carrey, he has a lot of energy, so he can act into. That's pretty easy. Well, and it'd be fun. I mean, when I saw him in that makeup, that did look pretty funny. But other actors, I mean, I can't speak for them, personally, but what I usually observe is that a lot of them love to do a Jekyll and Hyde type thing. It's a very show-offy thing to do, to show, hey, I can play two people and really convince you that I'm two different people. And there are some people that are very good at in The Monkey. The two kids. Well, it's not two kids. I had to keep reminding myself it's not two kids because this one kid was so good at playing both roles, and he didn't go over the top with either of them. That is usually what happens. A lot of times, somebody in one of the roles, they try to go so big in one direction to really convince you like what a good actor they are. And a lot of times, that's not the answer. So that's my guess. But there are people that can do it quite well.
Low Expectations, thank you for the $5 super chat. What's a film you acknowledge is flawless and even powerful, but it just didn't click with you? Mine is The Neverending Story.
Let me see. E.T., I acknowledge is a very good film. It just never quite connected with me. I just had another one I just forgot about. I don't know. If I think about it, I'll let you know. I'll say E.T. for now.
Patrick, thank you for the $5 super chat. Will you review 2017 Power Rangers before you do Snow White remake?
Okay, let me mark the calendar. Why before Snow White? That's so specific. We'll see. I don't know. I remember the other one. In the Bedroom is a decent movie. Everything's done right. But for some reason, I just never connected with it. I never really felt for anybody, and I don't know why. Everything feels right. The pieces are there. The Crucible is another one. That's a phenomenal story. I mean, classic. And the movie is like, it's good, but for some reason, just never quite connected. I did a video called "Can Something Be so good it's bad
Mm.
years ago, and it kind of dabbles in that a little bit.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, I personally consider Kingdom of the Crystal Skull my guilty pleasure film. Will it ever get an NC?
Well, so originally we were gonna do an Indiana Jones month, but again, with YouTube rules and everything, or lack thereof, they'll just take off videos or demonetize them or get content warnings, all that stuff. If you use what I always call the other N word, and the other H word. So, but that one I don't think has any in there. So maybe, but it is one of those where I feel like every joke that can be made has been made. So I don't know how much new I can bring to it. But yeah, we'll see.
Jacob, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you watched or have you any thoughts on the 1985 Stephen King anthology horror film Cat's Eye? Stars James Woods, Robert Hayes, and Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, I like that. I always confuse that and was it Trilogy of Terror? I always confuse those two. But yeah, I remember really liking it. The James Woods one, especially, and then the one hanging off the building. I really, really liked. The one actually I remember the least is probably the Cat's Eye one in there. But yeah, I remember really enjoying it.
Talons of Water, thank you for the $5 super chat. What is it about Lord of the Rings and Middle Earth in general that really hooked you and Rob and keeps it unique from other fantasy works then and now?
Well, I got sucked in through the Bakshi movie, so keep that in mind. Because I never really saw an anime movie like that or an anime film where they spoke that way. And I just love the language they seem to have there, where everything seemed big and epic, but not phony. It really felt like this is how people spoke. And just knowing, well, no, this isn't like history. They're not going back to, a time that really existed, that this was made up. Obviously, it's borrowing from other times. But yeah, that really intrigued me. I really got sucked into the world building of it. So yeah, and just the overall, I don't know, the overall nature of it, in terms of like, the Shire and Hobbit, very laid back, and then this dark, creepy world of Mordor and everything, and they all have these vast histories that are so interesting and fun and imaginative. So yeah, I got into all that.
Deb the Wiser, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen the Doors biopic starring Val Kilmer? And if so, what are your thoughts?
Years ago, I remember really like it's one of those movies where it almost did its job a little too well because it's kind of uncomfortable to watch. I mean, just when he gets lost in like the drug world and everything, it is kind of like a bad trip. But I mean, that's a compliment to it. I think that's the idea. And Kilmer is great in it. So I haven't seen it in a hot minute. Maybe I should check it out again. But I remember really liking it.
Maggie, thank you for the 500 bits. Here's a joke for you. A celebrity gets killed. The name was Reese something? Was it Witherspoon? No, it was with a knife. Patrick, thank you for the $5 super chat. You can get into Bluey, but not MLP. Friendship is magic?
Sorry. That's another one that's written totally fine. Nothing wrong with it. It just doesn't grab me in the least. That was the same with that She-Ra reboot that came out. Totally fine, well put together. Just did not grab me in the least. So yeah, they're out there.
Dazzleac, thank you for the £5 super chat. Hey Doug, I was wondering if you've seen the Black Mirror series, and if so, what are your thoughts? And do you have a favorite episode?
Yeah, I just saw my favorite episode. I think the Paul Giamatti one I thought was very, very good. For the most part, I like them. Every time I watch a new season, because we realized we skipped a whole season, the season before this one. We're like, oh, we just didn't even know. Somehow we missed this, so we're watching those now. And it is always funny where you think, yeah, this is a great show, so good. And then when you hit those bad episodes, brother, are they bad?
They are hard to get through.
They are
bad.
Impressively bad. And then there's some like the first one of the previous season. We saw it, it was interesting, but we're putting all these plot holes that don't make sense. We're like, well, then maybe when it gets to the end, it'll explain everything. And we got to what we thought was the halfway point, and then it was over. And we're like, well, that was awful. So yeah, but for the most part, yes, when it works, it really is fantastic.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, what are your top 3 favorite Dustin Hoffman roles outside of Hook?
Let's see. I do like him in Wag the Dog. That was pretty good. I guess I gotta say Kramer versus Kramer, even though I know he's a jackass on the movie, but he was very good. Oh, and The Graduate, he's fantastic in that. He is so damn good.
USS, thank you for the $5 super chat. Do you have a personal favorite vehicle from a movie or TV series? I personally like the Ford XB Falcon Interceptor from the very first Mad Max film.
The Batmobile from Batman '89. I think that's so cool. And honestly, just for the extremism of it, I actually do like the Batman Forever one just for how bonkers it is. Yeah, those two, I think just for completely different reasons, I think are just the coolest cars.
Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. Epiphany! The Edgar Scissorhands car ad confused me until I watched the film again. It's actually a callback to the banker saying he needs to buy a car.
I only saw it once. I know Chalamet was in the ad, but I haven't seen a good Super Bowl ad in years. So, I mean, I forget them very, very quickly.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. Years and years after being introduced to it through you, I finally saw What's Up, Doc for the first time recently. What's your favorite moment?
Oh, God. I don't even know. I mean, it's just like a rush of so many good moments. Maybe the one that got me laughing the most, it's kind of a spoiler, but I think it's okay.
Yeah.
Is that there's a big car chase. Yeah, it's one of the best car chases you'll ever see in your life. And at the very end, I mean, it's about to wrap up. And, you know, you got the two main leads. They're in this car, and there's a ferry leaving, and there's just enough room there where they can jump across the bridge onto it, and it's just leaving. And they're driving. She says, "We can make it." He goes, "Nope." And she says, "We can make it." "Nope." And they fly off in the middle of the earth. She says, "I don't think we can make it." And they crash into the water. And then all the other cars, of course, follow after them. It really made you think that because so many great stunts were done that this was going to be the big finishing stunt, and then the other cars were going to crash. And then when they crash and you realize it halfway through the jump, it's perfect. Absolutely perfect.
The Ultimate Frozen Fan, thank you for the $5 super chat. In your TASM2 review, you said he's been through worse. He stayed out of public eye, but people never forgot him. You think that's true for Sonic, too?
Huh, TASM.
Is that the Amazing Spider?
I guess so.
I don't know. I read
up.
the acronym because I really wasn't sure what the reference was.
And what's the question again?
You said he's been through worse. He stayed out of public eye, but people never forgot him. You think that's true for Sonic too? Like
okay.
as well.
Oh, maybe like after. Wait. Amazing Spider-Man, but not the Amazing. There was Amazing Spider-Man 2 or just the Amazing Spider-Man? 2. Gotcha. I mean, maybe it depends what we're talking. Maybe we're just talking about like just Sonic in general, not the movies, just Sonic in general. I guess. I mean, every time I thought I followed like the games and the sort of media life of Sonic close enough, it'll turn out I was wrong. There's a lot of people like, no, this actually happened. So I probably shouldn't comment, but just from an outside observer that, you know, grew up with Sonic when he was a kid, when I was a kid. I mean, yeah, sounds right, in my opinion. I mean, I'm glad he's back. I think he's a fun character.
Patrick, thank you for the $5 super chat. Why do you always compare the Twilight films with Michael Bay Transformers?
I think they both pander hard to their fan bases. And, you know, I mean, yes, you can make arguments that there's boys that like Twilight, there's girls that like Transformers, but they are leaning hard into Twilight for girls, Transformers for boys, you know, like to almost an insulting degree, not even almost, an insulting degree. So that's always what I think of when I think of like just pandering to sort of like the broad conceptions of what, you know, young people, young boys, young girls and stuff like that. And the fact they came out so close to each other. At the same time, I think that really says something about that period in time.
Trip, thank you for the $5 super chat. Will you ever review The Rescuers or its sequel?
Rescuers Down Under, I will, because I do want to get every Disney Renaissance movie down. I think I have like 2 or 3 left, something like that. So I'll definitely do that. And I like that movie. The first one, I did Disney December on it. I think all my thoughts are in there. I thought it was pretty boring, whole bunch of nothing.
Nate, thank you for the $10 super chat. Doug, you mentioned this last year. Will you eventually give an NC to the Stephen King film starring Arnold, The Running Man? King and Arnold equals NC joy and much laughter.
I have it down for this year because I thought I heard there's a remake coming out this year, and I'm like, maybe that would kind of tie in well to Nostalgia Ween. So possibly this year, if not at some point, because that's a fun movie.
Tony, thank you for the $5 super chat. I remember you said if you were to ever meet anyone who liked Garbage Pail Kids movie, you would want to have a chat with them. Has that ever happened?
No. Legit like that. There's people that like it ironically or to make fun
Right.
of it and say, that I totally get, but like legit enjoyed it. No, I've yet to meet someone.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of the first episode of Futurama? I think it's a good pilot and sets up the show well.
Boy, I don't. I thought it was a bad first episode. Like, there's the way it set up the world is fine. But yeah, the jokes weren't there yet. I mean, and the Fry's voice is very annoying. And like I said, I just wasn't laughing that much. I mean, the first season is honestly pretty rocky, but I mean, again, you look at like The Simpsons or a lot of shows that went on for a long time. A lot of them have rocky first seasons. So it's not like it's awful, but yeah, I didn't think it was well done. The one thing that really made me laugh, and I feel like they never quite returned to in the show that went that dark, was I don't know if I can say it on YouTube. I think I can. The S booths aside booths. I thought that was very telling of that world and very, very funny and very dark.
Crass, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you heard the news about Gendy Tartakovsky's, so always such a hard name, Fixed, finally getting a release date and getting on Netflix? So happy for it.
Yeah, I'm curious what he has in mind, because that's such a, I don't want to say totally different thing, because he did do like the Hotel Transylvania movies, but yeah, it's in something like the first R-rated like animated comedy, maybe big budget animated comedy, something like that. So I don't know. I'm curious. I'm intrigued.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. Since you kind of glanced over the soundtrack during the month, favorite piece of music across Lord of the Rings trilogy. Mine is in The Two Towers, with those three running chasing the Urukai while the choir kicks in. Goosebumps every time.
That is a good bit. It's a toss up between the Bridge of Khazad-dûm, the Balrog going at the choir going ooh ooh ooh, all of that I think is so cool. I'm a sucker for choirs. And then the other is the big charge into Gondor, the Rohan theme, riding in the Gondor. And that's one where I just get friggin' chills.
The Ultimate Frozen Fan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Unpopular opinion, I loved Wish. Star and Valentino stole the show. I love the Disney Easter eggs. Wish and Barbie were my favorite 2023 theater experiences.
Boy, it's rare you hear those two go together.
Yeah.
No, fair enough. It did nothing for. I'll say this: when I first saw it, I just kind of went, just lean towards bad. Then when I saw it a second time, I'm like, oh, I think I really don't like this. But I don't know. I guess I can see someone liking it okay. Especially just for an original idea. We don't get that many of those. Even though it's technically taken from other ones. But yeah, was my thing. But yeah, if somebody says they like that, I'm not, like super horrified or shocked or anything. It's like, no, I can see that.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. Not fair to say Maisie Lockwood doomed humanity. They caught most of the dinos in time. Haha. Also, artificial one-parent birth, not a clone. Haha.
Yeah, but did she doom humanity? Because they always say the dinosaurs are in the city and then we never see them. So I guess we just assume they got that under control. Fine, because who would want to see that? That'd be boring.
Trip, thank you for the $5 super chat. Were you bummed when your review of The Wall wasn't the magnum opus that you were expecting?
Well, so says you. No. With anything, you have to know. This is why Ed Wood's one of my favorite movies. You have to know, no matter how good you think something is, it can crash and burn. There's some things that I think are just okay, and then suddenly you'll do really, really well. And I think that's good. I think it's good to not always know exactly what, is going to hit and not going to hit. And for me, I think it's always good when something like that happens, because then I can learn from it. It's not like, I don't know, the guy who made Cats or something like that. Like, he's stuck with that for years until he makes his next movie. Like, he has other great movies, but that's the last one he's done. He's kind of stuck with that. For me, when something bombs just the next week, I can get right back on. So I'm very fortunate with that. And I don't have a studio that's saying, hey, change it. We're going to take the advertising down from here. We're going to change this. We're going to blah. Like, everything's under my control. So that I much rather take something failing and me being able to change in the future than something failing and I also have no control over what I did to it or how I can fix it. So no, I mean they're called teachable moments for a reason.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Would there ever be an NC in the future for either Johnny English or Rat Race?
Rat Race I like to do because I do like that movie and it is interesting to talk about. I've never seen Johnny English. I guess I should check it out.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, what's a film you really want to do an NC on, but you're really conflicted on, whether due to personal thoughts or viewership?
Uh, Let me see. I don't know. Somebody did bring up, I'm still wondering if I'm going to do it, that my favorite movie, Brazil, is having what I think like its 40th anniversary this year. And it's technically a Christmas movie. So there was a part of me that's like, oh, maybe I could do it as like a Christmas review, like the last Christmas review of the year. But it is one of those where it's like, I have so much to say about it that's like, man, how do I keep that all in a video? Like, I don't even know like where to necessarily start or how to craft it or whatever. So I'm thinking about that. Somebody brought that up before, and I'm like, it's not a bad idea, but brother, yeah, how would I do it? So I'm still thinking about it.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In your Disney December review of The Ghost and Molly McGee, you said you didn't get into Molly's father, Pete. What didn't you like about him?
It's just forgettable. Even now, I'm struggling to remember anything about him. Like I remember the mother, okay. I remember the brother. I remember a lot of the friends, and I just do not remember the father at all. I think he's just totally forgettable.
Patrick, thank you for the $20 super chat. Fillmore
Thank
for
you.
Disney December.
You know, I know what that is. I've never seen it. Is it on Disney Plus? That actually wouldn't be bad. I'll put that down as a possibility. Even if not, I feel like I gotta be able to see it somewhere.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. You've teased at this film for years. Can you please give Looney Tunes back in action a proper NC?
Maybe. I don't know if anyone would check it out. It'd have to be something that maybe I do like in January. The making that movie is very interesting because that is one we're talking about studios coming in and ruining something. Where Joe Dante was constantly like they just wanted change after change after change. It's like I don't think you know how animation works. You can't just hire an actor to walk on and do that. Like you have to draw every single frame the person does. I don't know. That might be an idea.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. What was your all-time favorite TMNT toy/piece of merchandise growing up?
Brother. The Technodrome was pretty cool. The giant Krang body was really, really cool. The little pizza thrower was really awesome. And the turtle blimp, that giant balloon, even though it makes no sense. How are you going to get anywhere fast in a blimp? But it was still so awesome.
JL, thank you for the 600 bits. What Disney December movies for this year are planned?
You know, I'm still working on them. It's one of those where it's funny because it used to be I was like struggling to find stuff to put on Disney December. Now it's more cutting stuff out because there's just so many. And Disney keeps releasing stuff during the year too. Like I thought originally I was going to do like the Snow White remake, and then I'm like, well, I know I'm going to do a Nostalgia Critic, guys, so what's the point of doing a Disney December at this point? Unless I had something new to say about it that I couldn't say in the other ones, which is unlikely. The only one I know for sure, because I'm watching it right now, is Proud Family. Oh, you know what? I think I might do that, not Goof Troop, what's it called? A Goofy movie documentary. Actually, I found very interesting. I wouldn't mind talking about that.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen the movie Hot Tub Time Machine?
Just bits and pieces. It's funny because I literally just made in the upcoming video a Hot Tub Time Machine joke. I'm like, yeah, I never had seen the whole thing. I probably should. But what I saw, I remember being pretty funny.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 500 bits. Thoughts on the King's Speech 2010?
Oh, I like it. Very, very well done movie. A very interesting, it's such a simple thing. A guy that has a speech impediment. He just happens to be, this massive ruler. And, it shows the pressure and also shows kind of the importance of being a good speaker. I think both in American, but especially in British politics, we've seen big time what a big difference that can be. So I thought that was all very, very interesting. And it did teach me too, the thing about if you're not hearing your voice, a lot of times you do speak better. And I found that fascinating. I never knew that. I never heard that anywhere. So it's just like, I gotta remember that.
Assassins, thank you for the $5 super chat. If you could if you could remake one of your older reviews in your current style, which one would you like to do?
At some point, we'll do like a theme month of like, redoing ones from the first year. Cause yeah, they were down to 10 minutes. It was a different style. I definitely lean much more into the character, the jokes back then. Um, I mean, the ones you would think like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Batman and Robin, the Ninja Turtles movie. I love to do those again and go into more detail because I think those are very fun movies to talk about.
Ice Luigi, thank you for the $7 super chat. Watched yesterday's Twitch stream. Two of the fast food chains you missed was Shake Shack and Sonic Drive-In. Thoughts and where would you both rank them? We are hoping to actually finish the list out eventually, but I actually love Shake Shack. I'd put it at an A, and Sonic, I'm not too impressed by. Maybe a C.
Uh, yeah, I think I'd be the same. I haven't had a ton of Sonic, so I will say that. Every time I
The
have,
drinks are great, but the food is eh.
yeah, that's kind of what I remember. So they're probably the same.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 500 bits. Thoughts on Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil 1997?
Again, I saw it when it came out. I remembered liking it. I remember being stupid long, and it did not need to be that long. But aside from that, I remember enjoying it.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. Without spoiling for chat, thoughts on that certain big biblical event at the end of Magnolia? Not a fan, personally, feel like it spoils the powerful drama going on beforehand.
That scene either makes or breaks the movie for people. I didn't know what to think of it the first time I saw it, and then the more I kind of talked about it, I let it sit. I'm like, yeah, I do really like that ending because you're talking about the drama going on with everybody. I feel like everything's just kind of building up to that explosion, and the idea of like just at some point things are getting so crazy and so bad and so out of control, like someone nature or something more just comes in and rectifies and either makes it better, makes it where it just does something, just everything building up to that moment. So I've actually learned to really like that ending quite a bit.
Matt, thank you for the $5 super chat. One anime I think you'd love is Spy Family. It's about a secret agent unknowingly marrying an assassin and adopting a mind reader. It's really charming. I really enjoy Spy Family.
I've heard it's good. I never knew what it was about. I guess I just assumed it was like, like a Spy Kids or Mr. and Mrs. Smith thing. But knowing that's the plot actually does make me want to check it out more. That's a very funny setup.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on the new Spawn movie that's in production? Bonus fact, the comic book creator Todd McFarlane is directing it.
Directing? That's interesting. It's funny. The biggest thing, because I'm sure it'll be better than the original, one would think, but the biggest thing I'm really curious about is how the suit is going to look. Because for all the problems of the original film, the suit looks phenomenal. And it's really there, and there's great detail on it. The cape looks bad, obviously, but I mean, like the actual suit looks so good. And I'm so afraid they're going to do just a CG ugly mess on it, and they won't need to, or they're going to feel like they're going to change it too much to make it look different from the other one. And I'm just like, but you don't need to. It looks so great. So that's honestly my biggest curiosity about, which you would think it'd be more like the story and characters, but the suit, for some reason, I'm really obsessed over how they're going to do that.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. I was frozen today. Would you ever do an updated NC on Signs?
I feel like I got my thoughts out there, man. I don't know. I'm very satisfied with my thoughts on that one.
Francisco, thank you for the 5,500 CLP through Super Chat. No message, just the CLP. Will, thank you for the $5 Super Chat. I know you're not a Walt or Jesse fan from Breaking Bad, but what do you say your favorite moments of theirs from the show are?
It's funny because I can't say it's a good episode, but I do, in terms of a moment between them, though, I do like the way they bond over that stupid fly in that one episode. That episode everyone either loves or hates. Well, I'm not a fan of the episode. It is the one where I probably got the most into sort of their friendship, their rivalry, their frenemies thing, all that, their partnership. That's probably the one where I found it the most interesting, even though it's hard for me to say the episode is actually good.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And Avatar, what do you think of the Earth King's second in command, Long Feng? While not super developed, I think he's an interesting villain, and I love seeing Clancy Brown play a bad guy.
Yeah, I liked. I mean, he's one half of one of the best comebacks ever. I don't even know if I say comeback, just a great insult. Where, without going too much into spoilers, he's defeated. I'll say that, and he bows and he says, I must bow to you. I am defeated at my own game, and the person that defeated him says, what was it? Don't flatter yourself. You weren't even a player. I mean, just what a line.
Yeah.
What a great line.
I am Chris. Thank you for the 500 bits. What are your thoughts of Gal Gadot as an actress? I know several people that don't think she's good, but I thought she was great as Wonder Woman in the Fast and Furious movies.
I never saw her in the Fast and Furious, so I haven't seen her in a ton. What I saw her in, I thought she was fine. I know a lot of people are really making fun of her in Snow White. I always say, to her credit, I think the first half she's actually doing a good job. Like, for having fun in a performance. Like, she's just, every time she turns, her outfit makes noise. She's very still. Like the little twiddling of her fingers and a little raising the eyebrow. Like, that feels, it's goofy, but it feels right. When they decide to go like the mascot characters from Disneyland, where she's doing the big song, the birds, and that's where it's like, this is awful. And I don't blame her for that. She was clearly asked to do that. But do I think she's like a great talent, like one of the great actors? I mean, no, but I don't know. I can't, like I said, I think one of the great superhero scenes is, again, Wonder Woman getting out in no man's land, just on her own with the shield and everything. I mean, that's like just one of the great superhero moments. And I feel like I wouldn't feel that if, she was not a good actress. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I have to have some connection. And I did. So, I guess I don't have any strong feelings about her acting, but from what I've seen, fine.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. As much as you might dislike Bruce Almighty, it's not as bad as its sequel, Evan Almighty. That's a horrible sequel.
I have never seen it, but I believe you.
Treg, thank you for the 500 bits. We know how crazy Ren and Stimpy can get, but aside from Stimpy's fan club, is there an episode or moment in that show that's so insane you legit question the sanity of the creator? The ending of Sven Hook when Ren breaks down are ones that come to mind. Also, if you got the time, I'd recommend checking out the Ren and Stimpy documentary, Happy Happy Joy Joy.
Oh, I have seen it. It's but it doesn't hold back. And in a weird way, that is the documentary I think true fans want to see. And even if you're not a fan, it's very interesting. Again, they just go areas where it's like, oh, they're talking about this. Okay. I thought it was very fascinating. But in terms of what you were saying, yeah, I totally agree. Ren's meltdown at the end of the Sven episode is fantastic. That's one of my favorites.
Treg, thank you for the 500 bits. So when I started high school about 13 years ago, I dressed up as Groucho Marx for a Halloween party. No surprise, I was the only 14-year-old that knew who I was. After watching Duck Soup again, I have to ask, what are some great Marx Brothers comedies that you'd recommend everybody check out?
So Marx Brothers, I remember more the lines, the jokes, the visual. I can't remember what happens in what film. And I don't know if they would either. You know what I mean? Like, I think they're designed just to be a collection of jokes and funny gags and visuals and stuff and wordplay, and they're great. But one line, it's funny because I think Rob always said this was a Benjamin Franklin line or a George Washington line. He said I'm not interested in a club that would have me as a member. I said, wasn't it, Ben Franklin who said that? And somebody said, no, it's Groucho Marx. And I felt like such a jackass. So now I have to look up who that was, but it does sound like a Groucho Marx line. So if that was him, that's a pretty great line. I'm still listening. I'm just going to turn on the AC. It's really warm in here.
Okay.
So just give me 1 second. I can still hear. I'm going to go really fast.
All right. James, thank you for the $10 super chat. Doug, here's a Troy McClure list I came up with. You may remember me from such horrible horror classics as Thursday the 12th, A Bad Dream on Oak Avenue, and the Oklahoma Machete Homicide.
Those are funny, yeah.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. Inspired by a Toy Story review, you got me thinking how the aliens featured in the Buzz Lightyear animated series. Then I had a light bulb moment. Pizza Planet signed a cross-promotional sponsorship deal with Buzz's parent toy company to feature them on the show. Boom! Dots connected.
And the funny thing is they could go technically even further with that by Buzz seeing other things like maybe he would recognize from the show. So yeah, maybe.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on the movies Frida with Selma Hayek and Breathless with Jeff Bridges?
I never saw Breathless. Frida, I really, really like, except for one thing, and I hate to mention it. I think I brought it up when I was doing this Julie Taymor video. Um, was it Selma Hayek that played Frida in that?
Yeah.
I couldn't get into her performance. I didn't think it was terrible, but I thought there is such a genuine bitterness to that person that did not feel phony. Like you really felt she had this anger built up and she got out through the pain. Sometimes she could see the beauty and she was like trying to find that beauty and that bitterness and that anger she had, but it was there. And in the movie, I always kind of felt like it was like an act, even though you know her life, it's not, but like just something about the way she played it kind of felt like I'm doing this to kind of get attention kind of thing. And that's I don't know, that it never quite worked, but she certainly looked the part. And it's not like an awful performance, but yeah, that is the one thing where I'm like, oh, this could have been like a phenomenal performance. And instead, it's kind of a middle of the road at best.
Sean49 Doctor, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey Doug, see you reviewed Willow, a film also starring another icon who passed away recently, Jean Marsh. Marsh. At the age of 90, Doctor Who fans will know her from classic Who stories The Crusade, Dalek's Master Plan, and Battlefield.
Interesting. Was that is that the lady, the sorceress at the end?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I gotta look back, but yeah, I mean, all the actors in there are doing a pretty great job. So yeah, whoever it is, I probably agree with you. They're probably great.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather and Vox Machina, what do you think of the will they won't they romance between Scanlan and Pike? I wish they wouldn't. Not everyone has to be paired up. Like, we already have two romantic pairs, you know what I mean? Like, we don't need another one. It's okay. That's all. Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, will the Vin Diesel Disney film The Pacifier get a Disney-cember? It's cheesy, but the acting is actually pretty darn decent.
I probably should. Yeah, I'm sure that has like a following or people remember it. I'll put that down on the list.
JL, thank you for the 5,000 bits. Really appreciate that. Do you ever go back and watch movie reviews that you did years ago?
Sometimes, not often. I used to do it more in the past to get an idea of like, just creating a style and having that sort of crossover and stuff. But now, just as I get older and things take longer, I just don't have a chance to. When I do go back and watch, surprisingly, I do watch the first viewings quite a bit, just the ones of me and Rob sitting there, shouting jokes at the TV. That's usually pretty fun. But yeah, the others, it's just a time thing. I don't have time.
Francisco, thank you for the 5,500 CLP through Super Chat. Hey, Doug, has a bad actor ever ruined a good movie for you? I can't watch Glory again because, well, Matthew Broderick.
That's actually one of the ones I didn't mind him in. I don't think it was great or anything, but I thought he was totally fine. A really surprising one. Christoph Waltz in Big Eyes was surprisingly awful. I mean, really, really bad. I think the movie itself, it's all right. Like it's okay, but he is just. I mean, you give him credit; he's throwing everything at you, but I mean, it is. I don't know if it was bad directing or just misguided energy. I don't know, but he's impressively awful in that for an actor who, as far as I'm concerned, has never had a miss in anything else.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. I'm lucky that when I was catching up on season 1 of Andor back in 2022 or early 2023, I was sick. Haha. Gonna wait to see all of season 2 in May.
Okay. Yeah, it's great. It's yeah, I can't wait for the second season. I don't have to. I can watch it right now, can't I?
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen Water for Elephants?
It's like I'm seeing that movie. I'm seeing the poster.
Yeah.
It's like, did I see the actual film? I don't think I did. I don't think I saw the movie.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen Super 8? Possible NC?
Yeah, it's fine. I didn't get super into it, pun intended, but the one thing I really, really loved is that you do see the movie they made at the end. Like, that was my favorite part of the film. And I do remember thinking to myself, if this is my favorite part, there must be something off about it, because I don't remember too much else about it. But I do remember when they actually show the film at the end, I'm like, all right, this is legit pretty great. I don't remember like disliking it, but I don't remember getting into it that much either.
Brett, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on the movie Elbert Nobbs?
Never even heard of it. Try to check it out.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. Your favorite Monty Python flying circus sketch? Mine is the argument one. No, it isn't.
That one is pretty great. I love. It's not even like particularly Monty Python. It's just a funny bit with it has all of them in it, and it's the movie producer who's trying to make a brand new movie and just a whole line of yes men, and he's slowly firing each one and just the reactions off everybody, just trying to figure out what this madman wants and how he keeps unknowingly trapping them to ultimately lose their jobs as it keeps going down the line. That desperation is so funny. And just all the reactions are, I just loved it. And again, you could argue it's kind of the least Monty Python thing because there's not anything super zany in, like nobody, I don't know, foot doesn't come down on anybody or anything like that. But yeah, I just love that one.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. How was Easter? R.I.P. Pope Francis. I'm
Yeah.
hurting, man. I really enjoyed Pope Francis as a pope.
Yeah, we can't act like we didn't have warning signs, but it was still kind of surprising. It kind of looked like, oh, he might be dirty. It's like, nope, he's gone.
Yeah, right.
Oh man, that's a shame.
Right.
And no, Easter was great. Had a good meetup with family and everything. Ate a lot of terrible food for me that tasted wonderful though, and had a good time.
Jack, thank you for the €5 super chat. Did you see the new teaser trailer for Predator Badlands? I just found out about it today, and I think it's interesting having Predator as an MC.
I think I saw a teaser maybe a couple weeks ago. I thought it was interesting. I thought it's an interesting idea. I'm kind of shocked they haven't done it earlier. Honestly, I mean, when you see like what they do with Prey and stuff like that, it's like, oh yeah, like this does. Oh, even Predator 2. It's one of those things where you're like, yeah, this does kind of open it up to possibilities, doesn't it? So, yeah, no, I'm curious to check that out.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In season 2 of the DuckTales reboot, what do you think of Lunaris? Do you think he's a good villain?
I gotta remind myself who it is. Hold on. Lunaris. That is a Pokemon. Oh, the moon guy. Okay, I see him. All right. I don't remember anything too crazy about. Honestly, I remember kind of being boring, but like but as a thread, he did his job fine.
Truth, Hope, Love, thank you for the $5 super chat. My dad's favorite movie is Real Genius, starring Val Kilmer.
It's a good movie.
Nate, thank you for the $10 super chat. Doug, I absolutely despise the 2005 film Kingdom of Heaven. I love historical films, but this film just spat on the history of the actual battle for Jerusalem. Will it ever get an NC?
I never did see it. I heard it's not good. I hear if you're a history buff, you really hate it, and if you're not, you just find it kind of dull. So, I don't know. It's not calling to me, but maybe I'll check it out someday just to check it out.
Dave, thank you for the $5 super chat. I love the simplicity of this one. Cheers or Frasier?
Frasier. I get why people like Cheers. Just Frasier's more my cup of tea, if you will.
Alexander,
or cup of coffee.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you watched the film The Quiet American? It has solid performances by Michael Caine and Brendan Fraser.
Boy, yeah, why do I know that one? Hold on. The Quiet American. It's ringing a bell. I guess not. Yeah, I do not. Oh, and it's a remake too. Yeah, I guess I had 2 movies to see. Okay, yeah, I'm not familiar with it.
Ultimate Frozen fan, thank you for the $5 super chat. I'm probably one of the few disappointed live-action Disney remakes may slow down / stop. I really wanted them to do Frozen after Moana and Tangled.
Like a live action one?
Mm-hmm. I got great news. Just go see the Broadway show.
Yeah, I mean, that is a good point. They're doing them on Broadway. They're usually better than the live action remakes. Yeah, no, I think it's a very good answer.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. Your favorite Beaufort T. Justice moment or line in Smokey and the Bandit? Mine is easily, the Germans got nothing to do with this.
It's one of those, it's like, I remember moments, but like lines is tricky. I don't remember which one it was, but I think it's one of the sequels, but the one where all the line of cops you think are going to get the bandit, and then just the whole line of trucks shows up, and there's just that, and then all the cops turn around and go the other way. I had that whole setup, that whole chase at the end. I remember being so great, and I don't even remember which one it's in, but I just remember loving that.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Sonic 3, what do you think of Robotnik's grandfather, Gerald Robotnik? Do you think he's a good villain?
I'm fine and goofy. It's one of the few times where now that I know the source material, it's like, okay, I can accept this for what it is, just sort of a fun, goofy performance, just being silly. But it's like, man, that was like a really developed character in the Sonic universe, wasn't it? And I do kind of feel bad that we're not going to get that in a movie. But again, just for what it is, what's presenting the world it creates, fine.
Charlotte, thank you for the €10 super chat. Not a question, just a thank you. I've been following you since I was in college. I've laughed a lot and developed not only my English, my empathy, and critical thinking skills. Thanks to you.
Wow, thank you so much. Hopefully, that didn't affect the pitch of your voice either. Hopefully, that didn't happen.
Jack, thank you for the €5 super chat. Would you ever play the games Alan Wake 1 and 2? I think those games would definitely be up your alley as it's a mix between Stephen King and Twin Peaks. Gosh, I gotta play the Alan Wake games. I've heard only amazing things about
I
them.
forgot about that. I've never played them, but I remember it's same thing, hearing really good things about them. I just completely forgot they even existed. Yeah, I add to the list.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. What's your all-time favorite movie quote? Mine is from Ed Wood. Visions are worth fighting for. Why spend your life making someone else's dreams?
That's such a good quote, and it's so funny that it's told to what many consider the worst director of all time. That just makes it so much funnier, but in many respects, so much more meaningful too. And I love that. That is a really good quote. Boy, I don't know. It's not from a movie, but a line that really sticks with me. And it's something where it's like, well, okay, I can't know until it happens. But I remember in one of these, in the Star Trek Next Generation episode where Picard dies and he has a chance to go back and redo things so that he doesn't have an artificial, because his artificial heart gave out. So he's going to go back in time and stop him getting the artificial heart, which he got in trouble before. He was a risk taker, and he changed it. He plays everything by the book, and that's what he became. He doesn't become captain. He's just an ensign, just, like a nobody. And he has a line where he says, I want to go back, change it. He's like, but you'll be dead. He said, I'd much rather die the man I was than be that sad, pathetic person I saw there. That man devoid of passion, devoid of love, devoid of any interest, devoid of life. I just remember that really sticking with me. So I don't know. Like I guess when I think about things where I'm like, this might suck in the long run, but I know this is right. I know this is the good thing to do. I know, like, this is correct. Like, I kind of think of that line. That line kind of takes me through certain things, even though it might not always be like the most popular choice.
Peter, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug and Heather, hope you both had a wonderful Easter. Have you thought about doing another episode of Bumper to Bumper?
Yeah, I should. You know what it is? I want to do another episode of ARC adaptations first, because I'm like, well, that one did okay, and actually, Bumper to Bumper didn't do that bad. But I did kind of lose interest a little bit. But I'm like, yeah, maybe these are the two I'll go back and forth in between. Actually, I don't know. Maybe I'll do it sooner than later, the more I think about it. Because like there's some Nickelodeon ones I think would be kind of fun.
Lady Houndoom, thank you so much for that 65-month subscription over on Twitch.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Appreciate that. James, thank you for the $50 super chat. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
What's a film you cry throughout? For me, Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. First, when Piglet gives up his house for Owl. Second, when Tigger is told he can't bounce anymore. And third is the ending. I have to stop before the final chapter segment.
Throughout, I don't think that's out there for me. I mean, Heather will tell you there's so many like games and stuff we'll watch where she'll be like bawling, why aren't you crying?
Even though it's like the third time I've seen this played through, I'll still be like, Doug, you're heartless.
And I do feel stuff in those moments. I'm just not a huge crier, but there is stuff that gets me pretty teary-eyed. I actually did a video years ago. I think like the top 10, top 11 moments that make me cry in movies and TV shows. So one that almost always gets me is the ending of Fearless, without going into spoilers. It's a Jeff Bridges movie. They do such a good job, both very cheaply and very expensive too, if that's a word, of really making you feel like you're kind of in between life and death, both like physically, just spiritually, emotionally, all that stuff, and they just do such a good job that you really do feel like you're almost passing through. Do you go through? Do you come back? Whatever, and it's just I don't know. I feel like that is that moment, if you are going to pass through or come back, and it's just so powerful and everything that movie is building up to that moment. That really, really gets me.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, what would you say your favorite Oscar winning performance is? Francis McDermott in Fargo or Gregory Peck in To Kill a Mockingbird?
Oh, come on, that's cruel. That's cruel. Oh, every time I think I got one, I think, well, but then that person said that, but then that person said that person has this scene, like by a hair, Gregory Peck, but it's really, really close. And again, it is kind of apples and oranges in many respects.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Breaking Bad, what do you think of everything having to do with Jesse's love interest, Jane?
Um, I mean, like most of the characters, I remember her being unpleasant, but I think that was kind of the point. Um, and again, without going to spoilers, it is like, woof, that's rough. But I remember being done fine. Like, it makes sense those two would be together and they have the relationship, that they have. So she, like most things in that show, she's done very well. I just don't like watching them.
The Wizard of What, thank you for the $10 super chat. Have you seen Anastasia on Broadway? To improve some things from the movie, including the villain, Rasputin is replaced by Gleb, a Bolshevik general who's more like Ramesses meets Javert minus Russell Crowe.
Yeah, I did. I liked it. I was almost surprised how reserved it was. Like I knew they weren't going to have Rasputin and everything, but in terms of what actually happens in the story, I'm like, boy, technically not a lot happens. But it is handled very well. The music is very, very good. And is more poetically done. The version I saw, the acting was a little too over the top, so I found that a little distracting. But again, you just see a different production of it with a different cast, and yeah, I'm sure it's fine. And again, the singing was still very good. It's not like they were awful. It's just Broadway acting in general. It sort of takes a bit for me to get used to, unless it's like comedic, like Book of Mormon or something like that. So yeah, it's just a different style that's hard for me to get into in general.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. Speaking of Beethoven, would be interested to see an NC on Beethoven second, since it's the only other Beethoven movie that got a theatrical release.
Maybe the first one didn't do anything that great in terms of numbers, so probably not. But I do remember it being bad. It's a bad movie.
JL, thank you for the 600 bits. Jor-El in Smallville is much more rude to his son than the OG Superman movies. Terrence Stamp did a good job.
Oh, that's cool. Terrence Stamp plays. That's really cool. What a cool choice. I hear it's really great. One of these days, I like to see it, but again, I just added to the list of shows. I have like a million episodes I have to see.
The Mass Nerd, thank you for the $2 super chat. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of James Gunn's film Super?
Oh, I love it. Anytime I see him taking on like DC or another superhero film or whatever, I do always think of that movie, because I do have concerns he's getting too much of a formula now, which is bound to happen at some point. But whenever I think he's going like maybe, I don't want to say too mainstream, but definitely not as like edgy as he could be kind of thing, or throwing as many twists and turns as he could, or maybe pandering a little too bit, I do think of that movie. That was just like, man, that was something. That's probably his best superhero movie, honestly. And you'd be like, what? Not one of the Guardians movies or anything? It's like it's so different, and it so does not hold your hand at the end, and you really have to make some decisions about what the hell you just saw and what you're supposed to make of it. And I love that. I do not see that often in superhero movies. So that mindset does make me a little bit more excited, weirdly, for something like Superman, where it's like, well, okay, well, what is a new, like, yeah, it'll be a different take, but it'll still be authentic to what it is, and it'll be smart. I'm hoping he comes through on all that.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. What's your favorite scene in The Whale?
Trying to think. And maybe the last scene. And that director actually, you could argue he's like Sofia Coppola or some of these art directors where they kind of remake the same movie over and over, but they're good at it. That last scene is very similar to the wrestler, the last scene in there, but it's effective. It's good. It's earned it. Even though they've done it several times, they've properly built up to it and earned those moments. Like they do it so well, they've earned the right to do it again.
Trip, thank you for the $5 super chat. In your Fern Gully 2 review, did you actually ask Lindsay to join you like in the first film, or was that no clip, just a gag?
I can't remember. But yeah, I really can't remember. I might have. I think what I did, because I think I knew I wasn't going to have time to do a crossover. So I was like, hey, look, just because we did I think it was the first crossover I did too. I was like, because this was the first crossover, can you just make a cameo real fast? And she said, yeah. So I think we knew going in we weren't going to do a crossover on that.
Case, thank you for the $5 super chat. Okay, CCR fans, let's settle this. Who is the real CCR? Credence Clearwater Revival or Cross Canadian Ragweed? I say Ragweed, dang gummit.
I've usually heard the first
Credence Clearwater Revival, yeah.
Yeah.
Same. Brett, thank you for the $5 super chat. With reference to your Kid's Guide to the Internet review, who was the Dasha growing up, you or Rob?
That neither of us were the Dasha, but there, and I did get some favoritism. I know I did. I think because Rob was the first one, so they were a little bit more straight. Then with me, especially because I was so hyper, I was running around all day, but we were so different in so many respects. But I was also very naive, like we really were Chip and Dale. He was Chip, I was Dale. I was much more naive and let's go have fun. Rob was much more the thinker and stuff, but he was also had a bit more cynicism. He was a little bit more pokey, like, well, why this? Why that? Why blah, blah, blah. Where I was a little bit more like the peacekeeper, but then I get in trouble on the side. We both had ways of getting in trouble in secret. But yeah, it is one of those things where we both kind of knew it, not to like a horrible extent, but we both did kind of know it. And it's like, yeah, it's true. Sometimes it did get better treatment.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Hope someday, Doug, you get to Gotham. It was only 5 seasons, but it was okay.
Only 5? That's a good run. I've heard good things about it. If anything, I want to see what's his name? Monaghan, the redhead guy. I want to see him play Joker because he looks like he would have a good smile to play Joker. He's a good actor too.
James, thank you for the $10 super chat. What's a DVD or Blu-ray you looked to buy for a long time but could never find? I searched for months and finally found a copy of the UPA Jolly Frolics DVD set. Spent $36 and it was worth it.
I might check that out. Yeah, you might just name that. I didn't even know I wanted that. Because no, I discovered. So yeah, I grew up with some UPA stuff, but I wasn't really super aware of them as a studio until years later, and then I would see all the different variety of things they would do, and like how cleverly they would do it, just so stylized. That I am like, dude, I have a lot to make up for, and I have seen several since it, but I haven't seen them all. So yeah, that might be it. That's a pretty good choice.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather, in a series of unfortunate events, what do you think of Mr. Poe? I like him as a foil and a proof of just one of those incompetent adults. Like, he plays the incompetent adult very well. Like, don't be silly. That's not Count Olaf. Like, I like him. He's funny. Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. What are your thoughts on A Few Good Men?
Talk about movies that we were talking about before, like good acting, not the best writing. I think Few Good Men is a good example of that. I don't think the writing's awful, but like the things they bring up at the end as the big aha moment is like, I mean, I was a little kid watching this, and I was like, I see the Jokers in this movie. I want to be a big boy. I want to watch it. I want to watch a big boy movie. I can do it. I can listen to what they're saying. Even I, at that young age, was like, well, wait, why bring up that he wasn't packed. bring up that he didn't call anybody. Bring up, I mean, that's like the first thing you should bring up. That's like the big moment at the end. And I'm just like, that's very silly. And then there's like some things in there where, like, you know, again, my dad was in the Navy, so there's some things where he's like, yeah, that's not a thing. They don't do that. That's not how it works and stuff. So I'm tainted a little bit with that, but did keep my interest. And again, I do like the acting. Like, it's all a little, they're doing their shtick. Tom Cruise is doing big Tom Cruise. Nicholson's doing big Nicholson. But they're fun to watch when they do that. So I enjoy it enough.
47 Cartoon Guy, thank you for the 500 bits. Doug, will you ever review the Timon and Pumbaa TV show for Disneycember? And have you ever met Bob West at a con?
It's Bob West, Pumbaa? I see
I don't know.
West. He's Barney the dinosaur, apparently.
Oh.
No, I have not. Random question, but no, I have not. And would I ever do the show? I did one on, what was it, the Disney Afternoon. I think I summed it up there. And I think I got my thoughts across there. Like, I liked it. I thought it was actually a pretty entertaining show. But yeah, I don't have too much else to add to it outside of that.
Deshaun, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, would you review Furry Vengeance, whose anniversary of it released is next week on April 30th?
I've had people request it before. I've never seen it. It's one of those where it'd definitely be a crapshoot. Like, okay, does this have a following with people click on, or are people just going to look and be like, what is that? And just not check it out. I do like to do a balance. I like to do a balance of something I really want to talk about and something that'll get views, you know, where we're a slave to the algorithm too. So I'll look into it, see if it has a following or not.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. Dominion wasn't perfect. One of my favorite things about it, even if not done great, is that they acknowledge Dodgson as the series' greater scope villain.
Yeah, but if you're not going to do that in the second movie, why? I mean, what film even was that? Was that like the sixth movie he comes back or something like that? I mean, like, why even bother? He's completely different. That's not the Dodgson that was in the first movie. So, I don't know. If you're gonna do it in either the second one or the third one. After that, why even include him? I didn't see the point.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of Johnny and Sal from the Muppets?
Johnny and Sal?
Yep.
Johnny and Sal Muppets. I don't think I know who these characters are. Wow, man, I'm not like a Muppet expert, but I thought I knew who these. I thought I knew the majority of them. Yeah, they are not ringing a bell. I'm so sorry. Huh.
A Pagan Priest, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you ever seen the Bruce Campbell film Bubba Hotep? It's a movie where he plays Elvis Presley and fights an ancient elder evil. You should definitely watch it.
Oh yeah, I like that movie. I'm not gonna pretend like it's great, but it is one of those where just the oddness of it, just the fact that it exists at all, is kind of amazing. And yeah, Campbell is great in it. All the actors are great. I do kind of wish it built up to something a little more, but you could argue that's kind of the point. It's kind of this big stuff happening, but also it's important and it's not important at the same time. Like, almost the idea is that these big names everybody knew are suddenly just tucked away, and they're going to have like these little endings that are still odd because they had such odd lives. So I dug it. I think it worked.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. Can you please do a top 11 best Teen Titans episode? So, if so, you have to put the episodes with Raven fighting Trigon on the list. So dark and epic.
Those were good episodes, man. So I did see them all, but I admit I rushed through them. And I did take them in. I thought they were good, but I don't think I remember them enough, and too much time has been. If you asked me right after I saw them, maybe I could. But right now, yeah, I think it'd be really tricky to do.
Magic Window, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you ever fallen asleep watching a film?
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite things to do. I'm not gonna lie. I don't do it much because my wife can't really get to sleep while a movie is on. But one of my favorite things is just leaving like a TV show or movie on, like that I've seen a million times, and just falling asleep to it. Yeah, no, I dig doing that.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. You once said that Leela is your least favorite of the main characters of Futurama. What don't you like about her?
Just kind of standard. I don't know. She never got that many laughs out of me. But it's not that they don't write her funny line like they do sometimes. But I mean, she's the I feel like whenever you want an episode to have a heart or meaning or soul or something like that, you do something with, either Fry or Leela or Fry and Leela. Like that's, I don't want to say it's what she's there for, but that's always kind of the vibe I got. Well, those are the moments I remember most from her. It's not usually like the lines, even though she does have some funny lines, definitely. But she's not a bad character. Just out of them, whenever I'm going to see the reactions of everybody as something happening, she's always the last one I'm interested in. You know what I mean?
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. You guys did fast food stuff last night. Would NC do a review of Super Size Me?
I probably shouldn't. It's the guy passed away. I had issues with the movie even when it came out.
Yeah.
That I think everybody already brings up. I don't think it's a wise thing to do.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. I actually really liked the Lorax 2012 when I saw it a while ago. I can judge it as its own thing, and the ending felt like wish fulfillment to a degree too.
Wish fulfillment, fan fiction, yeah, they're pretty much the same. No, if you like it, it's a very pretty movie. I guess it's trying to get across a good idea. Just hey, environment important, plant trees. I mean, there's that, but yeah, brother, I really didn't like it. It's just not my thing.
Treg, thank you for the 500 bits. So the BoJack Horseman crew has a new show coming out this year called Long Story Short. Last I checked, it will be an adult animated psychological comedy about a family over time, and it will explore their inside jokes, shared history, and old wounds throughout various stages of life. That sounds very interesting to me. What do you think? There's a first look image online right now.
Ooh, I am crazy interested. I have loved just about everything they put. I loved obviously BoJack. I love Undone. I like Tuca and Birdie quite a bit too. Just about everything they've handled, I've really really enjoyed. I didn't know that. I'm excited for that now. I'm very very excited for that now.
The Wizard of What, thank you for the $5 super chat. Could you do an NC on Turning Red? You said that the last third was one of Pixar's best, but couldn't go into great detail due to spoilers.
Maybe. I'll put that as a maybe. Yeah, that might be an idea.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And Avatar, what do you think of the Earth King?
Not much, and I guess that's kind of the idea. I don't know, for someone that powerful, I was really hoping for something more. You can make him naive, you can make him a doofus or whatever, but for somebody running a place that big, there has to be more. I don't know. Even if he was just turning a blind eye to everything, you could dive more into that, into why. Yeah, I don't know. Every other character is very well developed and very well handled. That's one where I'm just like, yeah, that was odd. I feel like they could have handled that a little better.
PDX, thank you for the $5 super chat. Would you ever do the Expendables movies? Those are ridiculously fun, over-the-top action movies.
I remember really liking the first two. Well, I really liked the first one. I enjoyed the second one. It started to get a little too self-aware, but I was okay with it. And I never saw the third one. Everyone just said, yeah, no, it jumps the shark. And then the fourth one I hear is just garbage. So maybe, I don't know, it might be something there.
Ray, thank you for the $5 super chat. Would you consider doing a John Wick retrospective? And would you think Keanu Reeves would be a good Spike Spiegel?
Yeah, I think, well, I guess is he too old now? I'm not sure.
He might be on the border now. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. For his age, phenomenal. I mean, obviously keeps in shape, looks great, he can do all this amazing stuff. I think has really come a long way as an actor. I think he's really, really good now. Yeah, it depends on how. Even the guy that got in the live action one, I thought he was looking a little old to play Spike. So I'm just like, yeah, how would Keanu Reeves do? I guess if you asked me 5 or 10 years ago, I'd probably say yeah. Now, probably not.
Future movie actor, thank you for the $5 super chat. Plans to cover Mamma Mia, here we go again. Don't hate the first one, but the second one's surprisingly a much better movie. Actually really good.
That's what I hear. I am curious to see how they do that because I thought the first one was so bad. But probably not, but I should see it because I am curious. I am curious to see. I just remember always hearing they kill off Meryl Streep at the beginning. I'm like, all right, it's a good start. It's a good start. So I am curious to see what they do.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In your Avatar vlogs, you said you weren't a big fan of Jet. What don't you like about him?
I'm trying to remember which one Jed. I mean, I'm probably answering my own question now. That he's just sort of a generic character. Hold on. Avatar Jet. Uh yeah, just kind of generic. He just didn't really. You would just look at him now, sort of the cocky, yeah, the little wheat sticking out and stuff. I'm just like, yeah, I don't like this guy.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. In Monty Python and the Holy Grail, what do you think of the rabbit scene and the ending scene?
Oh, they're both great. Even though I will say, I didn't see the bit with the castle coming. That was great. But the actual ending of where it was all going to stop, I was like, I know how this is going to happen. But I was still looking forward to it. And then, yeah, the rabbit scene was very, very funny because you know something's coming, but you don't know how they're going to do it. It's a surprisingly very funny effect.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather, in season 3 of Invincible, what do you think of the friendship between Alan and Nolan? I like it a lot. I like how persistent Alan is throughout the whole thing, that he insists on. I mean, I don't want to go into spoilers, but I like how persistent he is and that he really stays there to be there for Nolan. I like that. Brady, thank you for the $5 super chat. Who's your favorite South Park character and who's your least favorite?
Probably Butters. I really like Butters. He's just a little guy who's just trying, doing his best, you know. And then his alter ego of Professor Chaos is great because it's so the opposite of what he is, but it's so what he wants to be. I love that. Least favorite? Man, I don't know. I'm sure they have a lot of just dumb, bad characters. I don't know. Maybe while we go to the next question, I could just look up bad South Park characters. I'm trying to think of ones where I'm just like, yeah, I just didn't like watching this character. I can't think of them right now.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, if you were to give a solo film to a Batman villain a la Joker 2019, who would it be?
You know, ever since Heather brought this up, I've kind of been on the same boat. The Mad Hatter, I think, would have an on it though, but it would be pretty damn close to Joker. The more I think about it,
I feel like Zaz would be a really cool.
Which one's Zaz?
The one who like marks his body. He's a serial killer and he marks his body.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about him. You're probably right. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I was gonna say Catwoman. They tried that, but it's like I still feel like, nah. But where is that? I'm trying to think of one like. Well, okay. No, actually, Catwoman I think could be pretty a Joker style movie. I think Catwoman could be pretty interesting, actually.
On a Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey, love today's review. As a member of Generation X, I especially love it when you dip into the 80s.
Yeah, me too. I'm obviously a fan of that. You know, I found my character I don't like. You're gonna be angry because, like, I think we did a whole first viewing doing this voice, but I don't like Sodom in South Park. It's just a kind of funny. Check it like this. Like in little bits, that's fine, but they give him a lot of screen time in those shows and the movies and everything. And I'm just like, I don't think I like this character.
Hyperdevil Fangirl Boner, thank you for the 54-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate that. Fun fact, the lead actress from the film The Invisible Man 2020, Elizabeth Moss, was in an episode of Batman the Animated Series called See No Evil. That episode is about a man who wears an invisibility suit to pretend to be his daughter's imaginary friend. Elizabeth Moss played the daughter. Coincidence? Yes, absolutely. But it's an interesting coincidence, in my opinion.
Yeah,
That's a fun fact. That is a fun fact.
That's really cool because I remember that episode. Because at first I'm like, well, man, what would she be? Would she be a teenager? I'm like, no, she'd probably be pretty young. And when you said the daughter, I'm like, yeah, like that. I feel like she must have known that when on the set at some point. Just like, like that must have come up at some point. But that's really cool.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And Coco, what do you think of Ernesto de la Cruz?
I gotta remind myself who that is. Let's see. Coco Ernesto. Sure, I spelled that wrong. I did. Oh, the well, I can't say exactly who he is. I thought he was done well. I thought again, without giving away too much, for a character where they've done that a lot
I
in
mean,
Disney movies prior.
I feel like Coco's been
I
around long enough where like
but
you could just
but
say
it's so
it.
but the twists and turns are so good. I don't want
Okay,
to chance
you're
it.
right.
I
Okay, you're
literally
right,
just
you're
did
right.
a video where I
You're
say
right.
the twist in Empire Strikes Back. Like some are just so big. I know everybody knows it, but I still don't want to chance it. But no, I thought he was handled pretty well. It's one of the few times where they did that. And you know, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of Disney movies did it prior to that, where I feel like they didn't work or it's becoming a gimmick. And that one, I thought it worked okay. I thought it worked pretty well.
KTO, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, have you guys seen Sinners yet? And if so, what are your thoughts? If not, are you excited for the Fantastic Four?
Jump to another movie.
Right, completely different question if you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it yet. I hear it's very good. I'm glad it's doing well. I want original movies to do well. And Fantastic Four, yeah, I'm not excited per se, but it looks good. It looks decent. Just I haven't seen anything yet that's like we're talking about stuff that's fine, but doesn't grab me. Like it doesn't grab me yet, even though there's things in it you think I would like. I like a lot of like the practical effects. I like it takes place in a different world and it's a different style, but nothing's grabbed me yet. But we'll wait and see.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you ever seen Bean the movie?
Yeah, I did a review of it actually. You can see my thoughts there.
The Firstborn, thank you for the $5 super chat. I guess despite what you think of however much you watched of Sea Kai, it's still considered a standard in 80s legacy sequels and got great reviews. Oh, Cobra Kai is I think what they shortened it to.
Cobra Kai.
Okay.
Yeah, I never did watch the last I don't know, season or season and a half. I just kind of checked out and I was just like, all right, just tell me what happens. And people told me, I'm like, all right, that sounds right. I was already going back and forth a lot. And I know that's part of the charm, definitely. That is turning into more like a CW show. I just don't get into those type of shows. I get more into like how it started, which is also corny, make no mistake. But that was more kind of my brand of crazy. So yeah, I never did finish it up, and I don't know, maybe one day I will, but I'm in no rush.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And Super, what do you think of Kevin Bacon?
Oh, he's great. I mean, I don't know, is Kevin Bacon? There must be something he's bad in, but man, I can't think of it at the moment. He always he either is a great actor or he picks his roles very, very well.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Doug, look up on YouTube. There are rant videos merged of almost all your rants from the past.
Good Lord. How long is it? Has anybody made it all the way through? I feel like their earbuds would just go hearing that voice for so long.
Stacy, thank you for the $5 super chat. How come you only ever show off Chaplin in your live streams? Why do we never see Buster?
He doesn't come. I don't know if he's camera shy or what. He's we got him because he was playful when he was young, and then some point he just got turned into a sourpuss. You know what I mean? Just very, like when you think of the stereotypical cat, but he can be very sweet. He'll a lot of times just lay in our laps. He's very, very soft, but yeah, he's just not as camera hungry as Chaplin, I guess.
Alex loves musicals. Thank you for the 500 bits. Speaking of Anastasia, I'm curious, which version do you prefer, the Broadway show or the animated movie, or do you like both for different reasons?
Probably the Broadway show. It's a little bit more my speed, but how to put it? If you were to ask me what one would I want to put on right now, I'd probably say the anime one, just because I really do like the animation and I like taking that all in. Where the Broadway show is definitely put together better. But I'm just an animation buff, you know what I mean? So that's kind of like my lean. I'm not saying it's better. I'm saying it's just that's what I enjoy watching.
Nate, thank you for the $20 super chat. In reference to my prior question on Teen Titans, one of the biggest unanswered questions is, who is Red X? Fans theorize it could be Jason Todd, aka Red Hood. Bonus, the cast of Teen Titans really want a season 6.
Yeah, I'm still shocked they haven't done that yet. I'm really surprised by that because doesn't it leave on a cliffhanger the last episode. But yeah, I mean, if I had to guess, I mean, I just have no other theories about who it could be, so that'd be my guess. But it's not glaringly obvious like certain game I played recently. But yeah, it's enough where if they did go that route, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, we all knew that. I'd be like, no, it's was pretty well handled if it was him.
Maze, thank you for the $5 super chat. Howdy, Doug. Hope you're having a good
Hi.
week. Did you get to check out the recent episode of Last of Us?
Yeah. With the exception of Catherine O'Hara's scene, because she's amazing and everything, and that big fight in the middle of the second episode, I've been pretty underwhelmed, but I was kind of underwhelmed by the game too, so I'm not like super angry. But yeah, just for almost the exact same reasons as the game, I'm just not really getting that into it. Like I'm not excited to see the next episode, you know what I mean? Where with the first one, I was very skeptical about it, and it sucked me in pretty quick. That doesn't mean I'm gonna stop. Like I'm curious to see what they do that's different, but yeah, it's not really grabbing me. What do you think, Heather? I haven't asked you about it yet.
I mean, I'm still enjoying it because I did enjoy Last of Us Part 2. I've said many times it's not the story I would have told if I was given
Mm.
the head of like the storytelling, I suppose, but like it is an effective story in trying to get across the morals and lessons that it wants to get across, but like I don't know. I've been enjoying it, but I am also a little underwhelmed with season 2. So we'll see though.
You know what? So here's the funny thing. You know what I do want to see? I heard they greenlit season 3.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
Mhm.
That I want to see what happens after this. I want to see the direction it goes into after that because I'm like, well, okay, again, my big issue was that I thought it was kind of a generic route the story went. I want to see, well, now we've done the generic thing. What are they going to do after that? Like, how are they going to evolve it beyond this? That I'm really curious about.
Maze, thank you for the $2 super chat. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Ever see when the Muppets guest starred on Raw?
No. That sounds fun, though. I got to check that out.
Outlaw, thank you for the $5 super chat. What do you think of Thunderbolt's massively positive reviews?
I hope it's good. I like those actors. I like those characters. I think putting them together sounds like a fun idea. So, and Marvel needs a win. I mean, maybe Deadpool and Wolverine was the last like really big win they had recently. So, yeah, I hope it's good.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. If you want a really, really dark humor series that unexpectedly takes a really dramatic turn near the end, is Llamas with Hats.
Don't even know if I've heard that one.
Oh, really?
Do they take the hats off?
That is a very 2000s internet. Llamas with Hats is.
Okay, hold on. Let me just see if I. Oh wait, do I know what this is? I know what this is. Okay.
Yeah, it's pinnacle like 2000s YouTube.
Okay, I've never seen all of it. Maybe I should, because there's a thing right here, the complete series. Yeah, maybe I should finish it up. Yeah, because I remember starting it and liking it. Yeah, I should get it. I should watch all the way through.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And the Lorax, what do you think of How Bad Can I Be? While, like you, I don't like the movie, I do kind of like the song.
It is catchy. I do like the visuals of it. The only reason I really don't like, I'm sure you've heard of this, is there was another song that was going to be in the movie that they cut out because it was too similar to that. It takes what that song was doing, it just goes to a million with it. I mean, I know it's like, I can't talk about the wall, but it is like the wall. It's really, really cool. It just feels like something right out of that movie. And to see that in something like the Lorax, it's like kind of freaking cool. Like, again, I don't think it's Dr. Seuss, but if we're going to go this route anyway, go all the way. And like, it's a really, really cool song. So I always kind of look back, not super fondly at that song because I'm like, well, that's the reason that one's not in there. But on its own, like, it's catchy, I guess.
Oh, we wanted to pick up the pace here just a bit.
Gotcha.
We got an influx of questions that just came in. Sawesomeness, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, would you ever review Ralph Bakshi's American Pop? I think it's his magnum. What are your thoughts?
That's my personal favorite of his. Maybe one day.
Strider for Life, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey, Doug, have you seen this Wolverine fan film called Logan the Wolf? It's Wolverine reimagined as a Viking.
Huh. No. I'll check it out. Sounds kind of cool.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. With Butters and the South Park specials that came out, I could relate to Butters' character a lot.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Nathan, thank you for the $20 super chat. Really appreciate that. Your videos made me really appreciate movies. I've always watched movies, but never appreciated the work that goes behind them until you pointed it out. As pretentious as it sounds, I went from watching to consuming movies.
Oh my God, that's so kind of you to say. Thank you so much.
Brady, thank you for the $5 super chat. Star Wars Episode 3 is returning to theaters on Friday for the 20th anniversary. Are you going to see it?
Probably not, though. That's probably my favorite. Definitely my favorite, the prequels I saw on the big screen. I actually did go back and see it a few times because it was cool to see on the big screen.
Nate, thank you for the $5 super chat. NC on the South Park Imagination Land miniseries. As you said, it was almost a theatrical sequel to the first film.
Um, Probably not. I feel like if they ever do another movie, I'll do it then. But the little specials, I don't know if I could bring that much to it.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, what do you think of Ego?
It's great. It's a great villain. Yeah, sort of the twists and turns they do with him, his connection to Star-Lord. All of it I thought was wonderful.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. Top 3 Peter Sellers performances.
Oh man. Probably Lolita. Whatchamacallit? Doctor Strangelove. I mean, all of Doctor Strangelove, I guess. And yeah, the Pink Panther. Let's go safe.
Nate, thank you for the $20 super chat. My
Thank you.
grandfather isn't doing well, and I fear his time is near.
Oh.
I'm so sorry to hear.
Oh.
Your reviews and content always raise my spirits and keep me smiling despite these hard times. God bless you, Doug, and thank you for all that you do. You're my hero. Salute you.
Oh my god! I mean, I wish you nothing but thank you for the kind words. But yeah, definitely wishing nothing for the best with all that.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In The Last of Us 2 game, what do you think of the scene where Ellie sings "Take on Me"?
Was that in the first half? Because I've only played the first half. I know what happens in the rest of it, but I only got up to the first half. Is that in the first? That's not the guitar scene, is it? Or is that later?
It is one of the guitar scenes. I can't remember
But it's
exactly
later.
when it happens. But
I think I know your time. I think it's like in the last third. I think. I probably should just watch a clip of it.
Kelly, thank you for the $5 super chat. Buster is the quieter and more thoughtful brother. That equals Rob. Chaplin is a hyper playful brother. That equals Doug. It's like poetry. It rhymes.
Sure.
Butter, thank you for the $2 super chat. Nate, thank you for the $10 super chat. According to rumors, a 6th season of Teen Titans would have focused on an alien invasion led by Starfire's sister, forcing the Titans to fight back from the shadows.
Sounds cool.
Excuse me. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. In Spider-Man 3, did you hate that they screwed up the Venom origin?
Yeah, because I feel like weirdly with the layout, it could have worked. They maybe got rid of one of the villains, but yeah, no, I was pretty annoyed by that. I was more annoyed at the Peter Parker black suit stuff. They never really delve into the drama of that. I think that would have been more interesting.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Will we ever see the return of the Menonists from Mad Max Fury Road and Ghostbusters 2016 review, or has too much time passed?
I think too much time has passed, yeah.
Deadshot, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Doug, did you see the trailer for the new Predator? Looks cool, and having the Predator as the protagonist is cool. Also, possibly teasing an AVP movie done right, hopefully.
Yeah, what I saw looked pretty decent. I'm excited for it.
Okay, we have 2 minutes. Woo!
Alrighty.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield? I think it is one of Danny Elfman's most underrated scores.
The score's okay. It's more fun just to see him play Oingo Boingo in there. But yeah, I remember liking that movie. I remember having a lot of fun with it.
Blabalik Block over on Twitch says, have you seen any Makoto Shinkai's movies? And if so, what are your thoughts?
I know that name. Why do I know that name?
I'm trying to think of what Makoto. I know that name too, and I feel like I'm as silly goose for not knowing any.
Oh, the guy who did like a Susume and Voices from a Distant Star. Yeah.
Your name.
Your name. I do. I love your name too. I really like. I like the intro I had, which was Voices of a Distant Star, which is just a little short he did, but I love the idea behind it. I thought it was surprisingly emotional.
Brady, thank you for the $5 super chat. The ocean is a soup.
Good to know.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Did you see the walkie-talkie cut of E.T.?
No, I saw enough clips of it to know it wouldn't be my thing.
Batfan over on YouTube says, thoughts on Donnie Brasco?
Is that the Johnny? I always confuse that. Yeah, Donnie Darko. I remember being all right. I don't remember loving it, but I remember being pretty decent.
The Mass Nerd, thank you for the $2 super chat. You let Chaplin out? You're kidding me.
Ah, punny.
Very, very punny. Maze, thank you for the $2 super chat. Could we possibly see a Minecraft movie NC?
I originally wasn't going to, but after the reactions in the theaters and stuff, I'm like, I think I could do something with this.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Thoughts on Karate Kid Legends?
It looks fine. I was really hoping for some sort of crazy, like, Cobra Kai crossover kind of thing. It's like, all right, it's more a smaller story again, but I don't know. It's cool seeing Jackie Chan and Daniel San together.
This will be the last one here. Butter, thank you for the $2 super chat. When are we getting Balto 3?
At first I went to Bolt. I'm like, no, there wasn't even a Bolt 2. A Balto. Wait, Balto the movie? Did I make? No, I didn't make Balto. Wait a minute. Did I review to? They're like, there is a 3. When are we gonna get my review of Balto 3? Probably never, because the second one didn't do very well.
Fantastic. All right, everyone. Thank you so much, as usual, for joining us here today. We super appreciate it. Over on Twitch, we do have content 5 days a week. Also, if you already heard us chatting about it, we did start a fast food tier list. The VOD is available over on Twitch, so you can go check that out as well.
It's not the least bit divisive. Everybody's in agreement with it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's just wonderful. Anyway, Malcolm will be back on tomorrow, and then Doug will be back here on Friday playing more of Resident Evil 2, his first ever Resident Evil game, where he will continue to stress us all out by forgetting about the save function. No.
It just stressed Heather out.
It is very stressful for me. All right, everyone, have a wonderful evening, and we will see y'all later. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye!